Hey UMass, this is Brittany Collens, and it's trivia time. Tonight's question is, how many years in a row has the women's lacrosse team won their conference tournament? Is it A, 3 times, B, 5 times, C, 6 times, or D, 7 times? Please tweet your answer to @UM Sports Weekly for a shout out on next week's show. This is Brittany Collins, and this is UMass Sports Weekly.
Welcome back. We're here with the baseball segment, and I'm here with our expert, and that's Tommy Calautti. The team is 4-7 to start the season, but we have seen some success in the Atlantic 10. So, Tommy, I'm going to start out with that. Why have the Minutemen been so successful in the A10, and kind of give us a kind of wrap-up of the past couple games that have been going on?
The past couple games, I mean, you saw last weekend they had that unprecedented sweep of Dayton, which was, nobody saw that coming. But this weekend, team is kind of grounded back to earth. They lost 2 out of 3 to VCU. It was a 16-3 loss, an 8-0 loss, and a 3-2 win. I mean, you take what you can out of the weekend. What I want to take away, UMass is 4-2 in the A10. I mean, if they're going to have any success this season, it's going to be in the division, and it's great. What I've seen so far that's been really great is the hitting. I mean, when you talk about the top 6 guys in the lineup, you have Calautti, Paul Yannikopoulos, Vinny Schiffo, Rob McClam, and Matt Baer. They're all hitting over 280. I mean, those are your top 5-6 guys in the lineup. All have at least 1 extra base hit and have all driven in more than 2 runs. So, you and I have talked about it behind the scenes. They're a small ball team.
Yep.
They're not going to hit a lot of home runs, not going to overpower you, but they're hitting in key situations. My partner, Caitlin, who couldn't be here today, gave me a great stat. In the 3-2 win against VCU, 3 of the runs came with 2 outs. So there's timely hitting, there's solid hitting, and when it comes, it comes. The team can hit, and they're really showing that they can compete in the A10.
Coach Stone always struggles putting a team together. Obviously, in New England, it's tough to put a team together year in and year out. So he says he takes inning by inning, pitch by pitch, and that's what they've been doing. Getting key 2-out hits is all you can do. But now we're going to switch things over and look at the pitching, and that has always been a problem for our Minutemen. The biggest problem that this team has, I know the hitting's a problem, but it's been pretty good this year. The pitching, on the other hand, you've pointed out one pitcher who this team could really lean on because there might not be many others. Who's that pitcher, and what's going on with the pitching staff this season?
Well, I'd like to start off with the positive. Ryan Maloney has been really good for this team. I mean, his ERA is below 3, which, I mean, for UMass is spectacular. It's almost unheard of. But his ERA is at 2.45. I mean, he's been really solid.
Wow.
He has a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. He's been the team's best pitcher. I mean, he was the only pitcher not to give up more than 5 runs against VCU. He's been really solid, and if our wonderful stats guy, Jamie, could bring up the graphic we have on the rest of the pitching staff, it's been difficult. I mean, you have your 2 other starting pitchers at the 7.50 ERA and a 7.30 ERA.
Those 2 guys are upperclassmen, too.
LeBlanc and Grant have been really poor. They're the upperclassmen. You expect more out of them, but 13 and 10 runs allowed is just ridiculous in play. But I would like to say Maloney has been really solid. I mean, the last outing against VCU, 8 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, walked 5, struck out 6. I mean, the walks are a bit high, but you like to see that he's striking guys out. He got outs, he went deep into the game, and he's been playing well all season. He's the only pitcher with a winning record, and he's a guy that UMass can really lean on going forward.
Wow, well, you point out that graphic right there, and you see Maloney with such a great pedigree so far this season, and the other 2 guys who they really were dependent on. Connor LeBlanc, we talked about him last week.
Yeah, made me look like an idiot.
I don't know what's going on. I really thought he was going to be the ace for this season, but it hasn't been that way so far. He's a big factor on this team looking forward with the success. So I'm going to ask you right now, I know that field is covered with a sheet of ice, and there's a game expected on Friday, but can we continue some success if they get a game going this weekend?
I mean, like we saw against Dayton, they swept a respectable Dayton team. I mean, the pitching was pretty solid. The hitting was pretty solid. All around, like I said, in conference play, you've seen 5 guys hitting over 280. They've had a consistent 6-guy lineup. Coach Stone likes to rotate the last 3 guys depending on pitching matchups, but they've had a top 6 guys who hit over 280. They have guys that are driving in runs. It's a small ball team, but they're starting to string runs together, stealing a lot of bases. And, the question mark, like we both talked about, it's going to be pitching. And I definitely think you can bank on Maloney to give you a good start game in and game out. So if I got to throw it to anything, it's LeBlanc. I mean, this season Grant has been horrendous. Grant has just been, it's unearthly how bad Grant has been. But LeBlanc, we've seen, he can throw strikes. I mean, he doesn't walk many guys. It's just a matter of him getting shelled some starts and him not getting shelled some other starts. So I think we can look to him. I think he and Maloney can be a pretty solid 1-2 punch, especially in a conference like the A-10. So look for the team to have success. And like Liam said, we're hopeful guys. We're hopeful for this baseball team. And, hopefully when that snow melts, this team will be able to compete for the A-10 title.
Well, like you said, we're waiting for that snow to melt. It's absolutely a joke that there's still a sheet
It's like the
of
day
ice
after tomorrow, but it's like a good movie.
I know the Moen Center hides that field, but we all can
I saw
see
it today. It was disgusting.
That's awful. I mean, we got to get somebody over here at UMass. I know they plow they don't do a good job plowing the streets.
They don't plow the
either.
streets. They don't fix the field. They shouldn't be paid.
We need something to be plowed. I mean, we'll see.
Something's got to get plowed.
Hopefully they'll have that series this weekend, and everybody can enjoy watching them for their Easter breaks. You never know. Maybe people.
Maloney's someone you're going to want to watch.
Exactly. But thank you, Tommy. I appreciate it. And we're hoping for this team as well. They've shown some success this year, and that's good to see because usually they're not successful yet at this point in the season. But thank you, Tommy. We'll be right back, and we're going to look at the softball team. Stay tuned.